So I haven't uploaded in a while. My new project for this winter, because last winter was the off-road mower, which rocks. The suspension works great. Don't really have much to do with it other than probably new front tires at some point. It's easy to keep going flat. I want something more aggressive. But for this winter, I'm going to build a loader for the front of my GX255. I picked this up over the summer for $1,200. I sold my zero turn and decided to get this because I wanted to make it more utility oriented. It's got a differential lock, which is wonderful. Big fat rear tires. I've already put on a 2-inch receiver hitch on the back. Sorry, it's a little dark. So what I initially did with this was I cut this piece off. It originally sat right about here, right there. Got that out of the way. So I can come up with a design that I can unbolt the loader from the machine if I need to. I just barely cut these out with an angle grinder. It's kind of crooked right now, but it's because of that clamp. The plan is I'm going to utilize bolt holes that are in the frame and drill a couple new ones. This side is mirrored really. So I'm going to try and pick up this hole, try and squeeze a small bolt in there. And then what I'm going to do, I don't know if I can get the camera underneath there. There's a couple holes right here. I'm going to try and make a piece come out to pick up the underside of this to kind of tie that in too, so it's got some strength. So that plate, I'm going to mirror it over here, and then I'm going to take a piece of 2x2 and weld it across the front, leaving a gap so I can still adjust the deck if I ever need to, which I doubt. But the option's there, and it's all going to be bolted on to the machine so I can take it off if I need to. That's the bucket right there. That's a Swisher bucket that usually goes on an ATV. I had actually put that on the zero turn. I had taken a receiver hitch and had this piece here, which is flipped the wrong way, slide into the receiver hitch, and then I used an electric winch to power it up and down, and then of course your little pull rope here to dump the bucket. It worked good, but unfortunately the zero turn didn't have enough weight or power to turn and pivot when the bucket was full of dirt or material. So instead of trying to make a zero turn do a bunch of utility work, I decided to buy a garden tractor and make that more utility oriented. At some point with that cross piece here, I'm going to put a receiver hitch on the front as well. And the plan with this is to take 1.5 by 2 box tubing, because that's the width between these two here, is to come up off of roughly right here 45 and then straight up to try and clear the hood. Come straight up roughly the height of the hood or so. Have quick pins, and I haven't really figured out the rest if I want to do a straight piece and then down to the bucket, or if I just want to go straight down to the bucket at a steep angle. I have not decided yet. And then after the uprights are on, I think I might tie into this, or there's a bracket somewhere underneath there. This guy right here, tie into that as a kind of a strut or an extra leg for more support. And then my other plan is to get linear actuators, probably off Amazon, and build and probably have two on each side of the uprights, and then one for the dump, for the bucket, which I'm going to make a tab on the bucket so it'll dump. Hoping I can get it done this winter. I'm trying to do a small engine repair side gig on top of a full-time job. So I'm hoping I can get it done. We'll see. But I'm thinking it'll be pretty cool to have a small loader. It probably won't be able to pick up a terrible amount, maybe 200 pounds, I'm hoping. I'm somewhat trying to go off the design of the little green monster that a gentleman in Florida builds for X model John Deere's. Nothing this old. I would go and spring for his system and try and cob it onto this, but I'm going to try and do this on a pretty decent budget. Or a small budget, I should say. So, I don't know how many of you will watch, but this is the beginning, and I'm hoping that it'll turn out all right. In my mind, it'll work, but we'll see. This side's really hard to. It's gonna be kind of hard to work with because on the inside there, I don't know if you can see it. There's that bolt that goes back to a spring. So I'm hoping I can be able to get in there. I haven't decided if I'm going to put a hole in here or not for mounting. I thought about that 1.5 by 2 will come off here at a 45. I thought about buzzing a hole through the plate and then welding a nut on this side of the plate, when the plate's over here, welding it on this side and having a bolt inside here. Same on the other side. So I'd have 2 1/2-inch bolts here, probably another 1/2-inch bolt here, then the 2 on the bottom side, which those feel like they're 3/8. So I'm hoping that's enough to hold it on. It probably is enough to hold it on anyway with the 3 1/2-inch bolts, but I want to be certain this thing's not going to bend or break on me. It's going to be a lot of weight kind of up high and out. So, yeah. Quick shop tour. Mac box, you probably saw in the background. Old, heavy drill press. Titanium welder from Harbor Freight. I think it's the MiG 140. Thing's great. Got a little baby bottle behind it. Some DeWalt tools. That big blue thing it started off life as a snowmobile lift, and I bought it off a guy who would put some plywood on it so I can drive mowers onto it and everything. It'll pick up a standard lawn tractor, no problem. And the Craftsman, which got beat pretty hard this past summer. Another Mac box, some Harbor Freight stuff, oil, all that stuff. So, anywho, I'm going to try and upload some whenever I get a significant update, and hopefully I get some followers. Thanks, guys. See ya.